So look at your life right now. What's an area of your life that is not showing up the way you would like it to? Financial reality, business, relationships, your body. What would you have to change in order to have what it is you desire? You need to choose, ask what you can change, and commit to that. The magic is in the commitment that you choose. The world seems to have so much havoc going on. Now, I'm a big fan of chaos, but chaos is different. Chaos is about the magic. Chaos is about being in question. Chaos is about receiving, your ability to receive. Chaos is about infinite choice. It's, something so much bigger and so much greater. And yet havoc and that chaotic energy create like a shutdown. And the way I've been looking at a lot of things recently is, as I choose, is it opening a door? Is it opening a door, or is it just slamming doors shut? So there is a way that you can manipulate, the way that you can choose, the way you can empower, all of that, that is opening doors. Okay. If you also stop trying to look at making sure other people like you, or making sure that other people get what you're talking about, what if you chose for you? And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, is actually committing to you, like committing to your, not just your life, so you're existing, but committing to your living. What is committing to your living for you? Like, what if you were committed to have more ease, more joy, more possibilities? What are you unwilling to change? Like, what are you currently holding on to? And it could be relationships, business, money, points of view. Like, usually it's your point of view about something that you're unwilling to let go of, that would actually give you some more freedom. So what if you were committed to having more of you, committing to your being? Okay. So when you commit to any area of your life, it's like you start creating that. One of the things, Gary Douglas and Dane here, founder and co-creator of Access Consciousness, they did a class a little while ago, and it was called Realms of Creation. And one of the things that I really picked up on it and I've been playing with is a great tool of the realms of creation and the realms of possibility. Is this choice, question, possibility, where there is no rightness and there is no wrongness. You get to choose. You get to create your reality. You get to choose it. And I don't get that we acknowledge the magic that we are enough. When something shows up and you're like, yeah, this is my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality. The magic. The magic is you. Okay. When something shows up and you go, oh my God, they were so lucky, or can't believe that showed up. Can you stop that and actually believe it? You asked for it. And if you're committing to your life so that you can truly live, it's like, what else could show up? Because like I said, you'll start creating that. So let's look at, as an example, let's look at money. How many of you don't believe more money can show up? But here's the thing, it doesn't matter if you've got $10 in your bank account or $10 million. Some people have a shame for having no money, and some people have a shame for having money. What if that shame was not yours? What if you were just committed to having, recently I've been asking for, what would it take to have a surplus of revenue? Okay. So what would it take to have a surplus, committed to ease, joy, and glory? Like right today, I'm committed to ease, joy, and glory with money. I'm committed to, more possibilities showing up in my financial reality. So when you are being an energy of like, yes, this is my reality. Okay. When you're truly being that and you're being you, you are actually committed. Now, when I keep saying the word committed, how many of you go to that would mean you'd have to give something up? Well, here's the thing. How much are you committed to your life? What percentage? If I ask you right now, what percentage are you committed to your life? 10, 15%, 20%, 50%? Just have a look at it. What if you were 100% committed to your life? Now, here's the way it works. If you're 20% committed to your life, right? Well, then everything that shows up is not your fault. There's always somebody else to blame. it's not on you. Whereas if you're 100% committed, everything is on you. So that's when you start to truly be in question and have no judgment. Because how often do you go to judgment? Because that's quicker than not going to judgment. Okay. It's actually not true, but we tend to choose that. If you are 100% committed to your life, then some of the questions I would be, giving you is, what's right about this I'm not getting? So when something shows up that's not working for you or the way you thought it should show up, what's right about this I'm not getting? What's right about me I'm not getting? How did I create this? One of my favorite questions, okay? Because a lot of the times you'll go to, oh, well, he said this, she said that, they didn't do this, blah, 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 and it starts blaming everybody else. Well, what part of it did you create? When were you aware that you actually had to change something? Now, that's a level of commitment most of you are not willing to choose because you're always waiting for somebody else to align and agree with you or resist and react rather than going, oh, there's an energy. Okay, it's time for change. Okay. So the commitment to you too is knowing to choose something. You got to choose what can you change and then committing to it. Okay, I'm having this no matter what it takes, no matter what it looks like. I'm having this. Okay. You demand of yourself and you request of the universe. Okay. You cannot demand of anybody else. I know you might like to think you can, but you cannot. Okay. Make that demand of you. So look at your life right now. What's an area of your life that is not showing up the way you would like it to? Okay. Look, I'm going to name some common things: financial reality, business, relationships, any of your relationships. It could be a friendship, it could be a lover, it could be anything. Your body. Okay. Now, if any of those ping for you, or if you've got something else, just put your attention on it. What would you have to change in order to have what it is you desire? So here's the thing: the magic is in the commitment that you choose. Okay. Like when I chose to get out of debt, that was literally one of the hardest things I ever chose. I knew so much what it was like to be in debt. I knew what it was like to hustle, to get money, rent's due, oh my goodness, or avoid something, or get a payment plan, or, just ignore someone, whatever that was. I knew what that was like. I knew what that energy was like. I knew what it was like to say, I can't afford something and actually mean it and create that as my reality. And somewhere like insanely, I thought someone's going to come knocking on the door and go, it's okay, it's all over, we've changed everything for you. Well, that didn't happen. I actually had to make the demand of myself and request of the universe, I'm changing this. I'm changing this. So with my financial reality, it's like I started using the Access Consciousness tools and I took quite a few of them and I went, okay, I'm going to make the demand that I choose these tools. And I made like the demand of myself and request of the universe for 3 months. Let's use these tools and see if something changes. And at the end of 3 months, I sat down and looked at my finances. And, I didn't have like this huge amount of money, but I also had more ease with money. I noticed there was more of a sense of peace with money, right? That was changing because I was choosing it. Okay. So you need to choose, ask what you can change, and commit to that. Okay. Now, it's also allowing the change because we tend to get committed to our judgments. So, how many judgments are you currently committed to? How many lies are you committed to? And how many points of view that are not yours, that are other people's, are you committed to that holds you back? This is a big thing. This morning, this actually came up for me is desiring somebody else's acknowledgement. If there is anywhere that you are seeking acknowledgement from anyone, are you actually truly being you? Are you being you in totality, or are you looking for somebody else to acknowledge you? If you're looking for somebody else to acknowledge you, guess what? It's never going to show up. What if you woke up in the morning and you went, damn, I get to be me. Thank you, body. Thank you, me. Thank you for everything that I am choosing. Thank you for everything that I am choosing to commit to and change. And I'm going to have more of me today. That's my reality. That's the magic. I'm going to choose happy no matter what anybody else is choosing around me. So, what are you committed to today? Are you committed to pain and suffering? Are you committed to struggle? Are you committed to complaining? Are you committed to what's fucked up in the world? What if you could change that? Remember, choose, change, and commit. And what if making a commitment to you, living a life without limitation, what would you choose? Because when you're being you, you become this question, right? You become this question, and you become a question that allows so much more to show up. You have more availability for you, your body, your business, your financial reality, your relationships, because you have more sense of a space. What space are you unwilling to be? That if you allowed yourself to be that space, you could commit to more showing up, greatness showing up. So, what if you committed, like I said at the beginning, what if you committed to ease, joy, and glory? Remember, the mantra of Access Consciousness is all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. What if you were committed to that? So, a couple of questions I play with too when I'm looking at choosing something: will this be ease? Will this create the future I desire? Will it make me happy? Will it bring me joy? Will it bring others joy? Okay. So you can choose whatever questions you desire to ask. It's like, what if you started being more in question about your whole entire life? Like, is it actually working for you? What you currently have, is it enough? So what if you started committing today to a bigger living that you enjoy? It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter if they judge you, or if they think that you've created too much, or you're having too much, or whatever their point of view is. Whatever their projections and expectations are, who cares, right? And you really have to even commit to that you don't actually have a point of view of other people's points of view. If you live your life by wondering what somebody else is thinking about what you're choosing, is that committing to you, or is that committing to other people's limitations and other people's judgments? Okay. So are you willing to have your capacities and your abilities show up, no matter if somebody gets it or not? How many businesses would you like to have? How many revenue streams would you like to have? What if you were committed to having so many revenue streams that brought you so much joy and so much money and so much ease? Everybody goes, oh, that's going to be hard work. Oh, that's going to be more hours. It doesn't have to be. That's the lie. Stop committing to the lies and start committing to the choices that you can have, to asking questions, to being in question. What would you have to acknowledge if you were truly committed to your business? What would you have to acknowledge if you were truly committed to your body? What would you have to acknowledge if you were truly committed to your financial reality? What would you have to acknowledge if you were truly committed to living, no matter what the fuck anybody else thinks? As you choose for you, it's not about excluding, it's about including. But where are you in the computation of your choices? Okay. So, what commitment can you be for yourself today? What commitment can you be for your business, for your finances, for your body, for your relationships today? Like, if there's something that's not working in your relationship, what if you could ask the question, okay, so true, does this relationship actually still work for me? Ask a question. It doesn't mean you have to go yelling at somebody or blaming someone. No, if you're 100% committed to you, it's like, okay, what can I be that would allow this to change? It's not the havoc and the chaotic energy and the scurry. It's the energy that you choose to be with everything that comes your way. And when you're committed to you, you'll create a different possibility with every single choice you make.